Welcome to this evening's lecture where we're going to be talking about poultices. Poultices are little packages you can make of vegetable matter that you would put on various ailments for various effects. And the first one I'm going to look at is the onion. And the onion is a drawer. I think most people are aware of that. If you have a room that's just been painted and has a strong odour, you can slice the onion up and put it on a plate and it'll absorb the odours out of the air. If you have a fridge that has a bad smell, number one, find out where it's coming from, eliminate that, but sometimes the smell can remain. You can slice up an onion and put it in the fridge and it'll absorb those odours. So it is fairly well acknowledged that the onion is a drawer. You can use onion cooked or you can use it raw. And the cooked onion, in my knowledge, is used for two main reasons. One is for an earache. And it was the first poultice that I ever did. The little old lady next door told me about it. And she said, you steam an onion. Now you either steam it or dry bake it, because if you boil it, some of the healing properties in the onion will go into the water. So you usually do it. Now my helpers very efficiently took the skin and the end off, but you actually leave all that on because that'll help to hold it together. And then when it's soft, you cut it in half, and you cut it in half acrossways, so you're now looking at the rings. And what you can do is you can squeeze some of the juice from the steamed onion. It'll be boiling, and when it hits the spoon it'll cool a little, and then you can put that into the ear, and that can bring a bit of relief. And then you wrap up the onion in a cloth. Now you can use a cloth like this, which looks like it's a cut up from an old sheet, or you could use a hand towel or a tea towel. So you wrap it over a few times, because remember it's boiling hot. And when you get it to the right temperature, test it on your arm, then it can be placed on the ear, and then you will put a little sheet of plastic over that, which will keep the warmth in. And then you could bandage it on the ear, or you could put a little woolen beanie on to hold it there, or some people might feel to sleep and they will lay down on the ear. As long as you can keep it warm, you can keep it there. If it starts to get cold, then the ear will ache. Now this hot onion, the heat has an effect to relieve the pain, because whenever you've got pain, you've got cramping muscles, and moist heat relaxes cramping muscle, so that moist heat will do that. But also the onion, being a drawer, will draw. Now sometimes the onion will cause a little hole to be made in the eardrum. If the body makes the hole, not a problem. If you stick something in your eardrum and make a hole, you got a problem. But if the body makes it, and often when the hole is made, then the pus will come out, and that can bring a lot of relief. But sometimes the onion will just reduce the inflammation to the point that the blood may take the pus away. Either way, it brings a lot of relief. Now you might do an onion poultice on someone with an earache, and they get a lot of relief, and then a few hours later the pain comes up again. Just do it again. You just keep doing it until there is no more ache. Sometimes one application is enough. Sometimes it needs to be done a couple of times a day for a few days. A friend of mine, she had to do it every day for a week. You know, whatever it takes, the body knows what it's doing, and if it brings relief, the body's saying, thank you, that's what I want you to do. The other place that you can use a cooked onion is on a boil. A man rang me up and he said that he had boils coming on the inside of his nose. They were very painful. And I said, well, it'll be a bit hard to put something on the inside of the nose, but I said you could steam up an onion and put it on the outside. He thought that sounded like a bit of work until a few hours later the whole side of his face swelled up. So he steamed up an onion and put it on. And he said to me that it brought so much relief he was able to sleep. And when he woke up, he said the boil had burst and all the waste had come away. He said he has never got so much relief so quickly, because a boil inside the nose, as you can imagine, is very painful. Most pain is due to inflammation. So if you can get that inflammation down, you can reduce the pain. So it can be used on a boil and it can be used on a earache. That's the cooked onion. Now we're going to have a look at the raw onion. So the raw onion can be used for a few things. Now if you have a organic, non-GO, non-irradiated onion and you cut it up, you'll start crying, won't you? That onion juice has an effect to stimulate the respiratory organs to clear and to thin the mucus. So the cooked onion, as I said, is for ear and for a boil, but the raw onion is used often mostly for respiratory. Now you might be surprised at where I'm going to put this, or where I'm going to suggest putting this onion that I'm chopping up, and that is on the bottom of the feet for a head cold or a chest cold. You see, the biggest pores in the whole of your body are on the soles of your feet. So what you do is you get a plastic bag thus, and you put the onion in the plastic bag, and then the foot is put on the, let's say this is the foot, you put it on the onion in the plastic bag, and then twist this bag around and around and secure it, and then put a sock on, and the sock will hold it nice and firm. You want the onion on the bottom of the feet, because the biggest pores in your body are on the bottom of your feet, and the body will take the onion where it needs to go. And often it'll take it if you need it in the chest or to clear the head. I was with my daughter and her little 3-year-old. We'd put him to bed, he had a cold and he coughed and he coughed. And you think any moment he'll fall asleep. But half an hour later he was still coughing, and I said to my daughter, Emma, just get him up and we'll do the onion. We put the onion on the bottom of his feet, put the sock on, put him back to bed, not one more cough. It's almost unbelievable what it does. And a friend of mine, she was camping in the bush, you know, near the beach, and the lady in the tent next door coughed all night. She said it kept waking them. So the next day in the afternoon, she befriended the lady and she said, I noticed you have a cough. And the lady said, oh, I'm so sorry if I've kept you awake. And my friend said, I've got a little tip that may help you. Now when you're camping, you've nearly always got an onion, and you've just about always got plastic bags. And so she did it to the lady, who was willing to do anything. No coughing all night long. It's such a simple treatment and yet quite effective. The bottom of the feet do not get tender, it doesn't irritate. Obviously, once you take it off in the morning, you would throw it away. But that's a very simple treatment that can be done for someone with respiratory or a cough. And now we're going to have a look at how you can make an onion cough syrup. So you need a jar, and you'll put a layer of onion in the bottom of the jar. The layer of onion may be about 1/2 inch. And then you put a spoonful of honey on that. So we'll put our spoonful of honey on that. Now when you buy raw honey in the winter, it's often quite solid. Have you found that? And you can do this with the solid honey. And whether it's a runny honey like this, or whether it's a solid honey, they will both work. I'm making this at the beginning of our lecture because by the end of the lecture you'll see a syrup will begin to form. So now we're putting in another layer of onion. The first time I read about this recipe, it said to use sugar, but I didn't give my children sugar, so I really didn't want to make it with sugar. So I thought, I'll try it with honey, and it works very well with honey. And honey can be very soothing too on a sore throat. So now we cut up and do another layer. So if you have a big family and they've all got bad coughs, you could do several onions and fill the jar. So for purposes of illustration, we're just going to use our one onion. So we put another layer in. And another layer of honey. Now the sky's the limit with how you make this. You can put garlic in there, you can put ginger in there as well as if you like. Now our last layer goes in, and you end with a layer of honey. And drizzle it over. And if my grandchildren would hear, I would give them this spoon to lick. So as you can see at the moment, we've just got sticky onion and, sticky honey and onion. By the end of the lecture, in fact in about half an hour, you'll find a runny syrup. It's actually almost runny like water, and that's your onion syrup. So you leave the onion in the honey for 24 hours, and after 24 hours, in fact you'll see it even tomorrow through the day, it'll look like onion swimming in a syrup. So the reaction of the onion, the sticky honey on the onion, it produces this syrup. So after 24 hours, you strain the onion out, and there you've got your onion syrup, which you can keep in the fridge. How long will it keep for? Well, I always used to say it doesn't keep long in my house. My children very much like the onion syrup. But one German lady in a meeting one day, she said, oh, I've had a jar in my fridge for 10 years. I guess because it's honey, it keeps. So what's the dosage? Well, in a little 2-year-old, you might give them half a teaspoon 3 times a day, you know. For an older child or an adult, you might give them a teaspoon 3 times a day. I used to say to my children, if they had a bad cold, if you sit still and let mummy put poultices on you and put a few things on you, then you can have a teaspoon of onion syrup. Now my children, I did not give them lollies, so they thought the onion syrup was pretty good. But I guess if children are used to a lot of sweet things, I don't know, you'll have a taste tomorrow. But it's actually quite